let's go into how you're helping with this generational health. And
Mhm.
I love that phrase, by the way, because we talk about generational wealth a lot. And here's a problem with money and people making money out here in the world and doing great things. Money is just, it's currency. If you drive it back, it's energy. The problem is that money's become more of our master and not our servant. And so we're putting all this effort on money itself and we're not taking care of ourselves.
Mhm.
And so when you rephrase it and you say generational health, we're investing back into ourselves and into our future for our generations to come. What what do you think right now the future of health looks like for people that are interested in working with you and
Mhm.
learning more about this? What does it look like for the future? Because right now we see everything on TV. We see people that on the outside, they're not talking much about the inside. We
Mhm.
have pharmaceutical companies, we have supplement companies, they're all going at it. It's like this big industry of who's better, who can do what.
Mhm.
What does the future look like for us?
Yeah, it's a a lot of the things that I have access to now and that I use with people and even on myself sometimes, they're not available to a lot of the people in the general public. And there's a lot of red tape. And you're competing with, like you said, the pharmaceutical industries. You're competing with insurance companies. You're competing with a lot of people that don't want certain things to be there. So um I think a big picture down the road, I see the world actually, I see a lot of these things becoming more commercially available. Because with any sort of technology, the first adopters, it's always much more. And then over time, it becomes more of a mass market, readily available to everyone. It's kind of like the iPhones and all that thing at the very, very beginning of time, and computers. And so um, I think it's precision, and that's the word I use, is precision. Really tuning in to each person's unique makeup, even in the medical system. Whereas an individual goes into a hospital and they have a certain element, instead of being prescribed the standard dose of whatever medication, they're able to get a more precise working of this person and give him the precise amount. And the reason why I say that is because we have certain genes. So, for example, myself, I don't metabolize alcohol fast. I'm a slow metabolizer with alcohol, with caffeine, and different medications, because they all go to the liver. And so I'm going to be different in terms of my alcohol consumption if I'm just using alcohol, or even different medications, because it's not going to leave my system as readily as somebody else.
Mhm.
And so those things are benefited. I hope these is just what I hope on a grand level in hospitals. That's just one example. Um, I hope people can also really learn their bodies more. We have all this. We have the phones now. We have the Apple Watches, and they give you basic vitals. And for example, the wearable I have on right now, um, I got sick maybe a year ago, and a couple of days beforehand, my heart rate was up a little more, my respiratory rate was up a little more, and my HRV was down more than it typically is. And I was like, oh, that's weird. The next day it was the same thing. I was like, okay, I think I'm coming down with something. And so I had pretty much 72 to 96 hours head start to get ahead of my illness. So therefore, when it came, my my time down was dramatically cut short because I took preventative measures.
Mhm.
And that's the hope I have for the world. That's when you say optimal health, it's a big part of it is resiliency. It's not shying away, never expecting to get sick, never expecting to get any cuts and bruises. It's
Okay.
about how quick. It's about how quick can you bounce back? How quick can you get back on the playing field?
Mm,
And that's when you
like
take a
that.
more preventative approach than a reactive approach. We live in a very reactive society now. A lot of times we don't take action until we actually feel the problem. It's not beforehand. It's oh, I feel this thing. Okay, now I should do something about it. Well, let's get it beforehand, and so you never even have to think about it. One of the
Mm,
best ways to know if you're doing things really right is that you very rarely have any issues. Like it's almost boring.
mm,
Like it's cold season. Okay, cool. You know, cool. I mean, you get a little sniffle there, it goes away in like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it keeps me down for 10 days, right? And so it's those little small moments, you know. So to sum that whole thing up, it's I hope the world embraces and becomes much more preventative instead of reactive.